In the heart of Europe, a unique scenic park is situated in South Moravia, Czechoslovakia. With its southern boundary, it forms the international frontier with neighbouring Austria. The complete area is easily accessible from the capital cities of Prague and Vienna. In the past, the whole of this area used to be called the Garden of Europe. Today it is more commonly known as the area of Lednice-Valtice. For 700 years, the development of the whole region was under the control of the aristocratic Liechtenstein family. The area of this landscaped region is only slightly smaller than that of the Alpine Principality of Liechtenstein, the smallest constitutional monarchy in the world. The castle at Valtice used to be an aristocratic family residence. The ostentatious Baroque edifice, dating from the turn of the 17th and 18th centuries, illustrates the antiquity of the aristocratic family, whose ancestors have been documented as far back as the 12th century. The castle complex and its surroundings are the work of outstanding European architects, such as Giovanni Tencali, Johann Bernhard Fischer of Erlach, Domenico Martinelli and others. The castle houses an exhibition of period furniture, pictures and art objects. One wing of the castle serves as a hotel, while exhibitions and social functions are organised in other rooms. During August, the castle courtyard and the adjoining park are filled with enthusiastic admirers of Baroque opera, imbued not only by the scent of numerous flowers, but also by the tones and singing from the works of music masters of centuries past. The Valtice residence is connected to Lednice, which was once the summer residence of the aristocratic family, by an avenue of approximately 8 kilometers in length, the trees of which were planted 300 years ago. Lednice forms the core of the whole area. The actual castle had its beginnings in a Renaissance villa, which was rebuilt and enlarged during the Baroque period. Typical features of this artistic style, however, were blurred by a classicist reconstruction, and eventually everything was superimposed by the last general adaptation during the last century. At that time, the architect, Winkelmüller, created a fairy tale residence from Lednice Castle inspired by English architecture. The greenhouse was also a part of the castle construction. This is of a unique metal construction and today is the only example in Europe. On the southern side, in the foreground of the castle, is a formal garden, drawing on French and Italian lines. The geometrically precise garden to the north suddenly changes into an English park, slowly developing into the surrounding landscape. The park was laid out at the beginning of the 19th century. 6 years were required to deepen the lake and to raise 16 islands. After that, 36,000 seedlings of timber species were planted. These were brought from North America by a special expedition. At the turn of the 18th and 19th centuries, another dominant feature, the minaret, was constructed. It is 60 meters high. Between Lednica and Valtica is a colossal natural park with an area of 150 square kilometers. It was established by Johann Joseph I of Liechtenstein at the beginning of the 19th century. Today it is still considered to be a masterpiece of garden architecture, with a refined feeling for the life of nature, augmented by the perfect knowledge of water management engineering. In some places, over 30 years, small castles, cathedrals and other buildings were constructed, which today create the unrepeatable atmosphere of this place. Perhaps this artificial ruin of Janohrad was erected as a monument glorifying a famous princely ancestor. The observation colonnade at the highest point of the whole area was built by the Duke in remembrance of his father and brothers. Apollo's temple and the Temple of the Three Graces are dedicated to the Greek gods and are decorated with classical sculptures. The interior halls of both buildings have so far not been used in any way. Nový Dvůr is still used today as a stud farm. The sport of horse riding is also pursued. The name of this manor house, the Frontier, is a play on words, symbolizing the area of what were once Liechtenstein possessions, which used to be on Austrian territory as well as in the Czech lands. Its right wing stands on what used to be the Austrian side of the border, and the rest of the building is on the Moravian side. In the manor house today, a cafe is being built. Similar solitary places can be visited in the area. Unfortunately, their external decay bears witness to the past era of communist totalitarian rule. The cultural heritage of the past was mostly at the fringe of the omnipotent parties and the state's interest, and time, those long 40 years, worked against the treasures of past times. Many precious monuments are falling apart, many were pulled down. In spite of all the efforts of the guardians, we can see these crushing consequences also on the castle buildings at Valtice and Lednice. As a result of unpremeditated and non-qualified water management, the trees began to die. It is high time repairs were begun. For its extraordinary values, the whole area is a place suitable for investment. Of the same value are the close surroundings of the area, since not far away is Pálava, a valuable natural reservation where there are rare species of plants and small animals. The hilltops are decorated with the ruins of medieval castles, evidence of the strategic importance of this area to our ancestors. Today, at the foot of the Pálava Hills, lakes have been created, attracting sportsmen, anglers and tourists. The setting, however, is far from being satisfactory. Here also, there is a great deal of room for welcome investment. Not far away is Mikulov, a historical town, offering delicious refreshment with excellent wines, the tradition of growing wine having been documented from the time of the sojourn of the legions of ancient Rome. With its monuments and relics, the town will also satisfy the curious tourist. Also sought after is the Jewish cemetery in the rabbinic district. Here a number of significant European personalities are at rest, scholars, artists and politicians. Břeclav, the largest town of this region, is an important crossroads, both for rail and road transport. Today, when an area plan is worked out, which proposes the construction of much-needed hotels, restaurants, golf courses, horse racing and cycling tracks, and many other important requirements for the development of recreation, the Czechoslovak government lays down only one condition for a satisfactory agreement with those interested from the ranks of foreign investors for the development of this area. This is that the approach must be sensitive and must protect the unique character of this valuable landscape.